I make music. And today, on Friday,
So
as the sun
dramatic. Oh.
Can we take two? Oh, hello, and welcome to my show.
I can't even right now. I
Friday!
can't even.
Are you guys so excited?
Yes, I was giving you
We are
theme
a
music.
hot mess today.
And then I said, as the sun turns.
Oh my God! It is as the sun turns. It's very
Wait.
dramatic in studio today.
It
We
is.
have a jam-packed show. We're covering all the things from culture to couture. Very exciting. Sunnies, gather round, you little doggies, because today's show is bursting with inspiration, fire, and a whole lot of picante flavor. ¿Verdad?
Verdad.
We've got stories that'll make you laugh, cry, and maybe even lace up some cleats because sports and Latin soul are colliding right here on Sunny TV. But first, let's turn it over to the queen of the Sunny snack scene. Mel, what's on the Sunny sundial
Well,
today?
what's in my stomach already is Shane brought an assortment of pastries from the Puerto Rican bakery down by the shores.
Yeah.
My husband goes there every day for a breakfast sandwich. Guys, I ate like 2 plates full. She's taking pictures. I'm like, hurry up, I'm hungry. But today, it's a full plate, kind of like the one I had at 8 o'clock this morning. We've got local heroes using the beautiful game of soccer to open doors in education.
Yep.
Plus, a look at how community partnerships are literally changing kids' lives.
Yes, and I do have to give a shout out to La Amapola. That is the Puerto Rican cafe down in the shores that
Hey.
Mel mentioned. And my great friend Melissa Escribano, who brought us these lovely pastries to enjoy this morning, since we will be talking about a very fun topic today, the rhythm of culture from Puerto Rico to the Super Bowl. It's not just music, it's identity, it's representation, it's light, and you'll see why this moment matters.
Exactly, Shimi. And speaking of light, wait till you meet our guests today. We've got Bethany Hilbert and Tony Williams in the studio with the Potential Foundation. Their Passport to Prosperity program is pairing soccer with academics and giving kids in St. Johns County confidence, discipline, and a vision for the future. From book drives to competitive day, they're breaking barriers one goal at a time. Sunny, so this is the kind of conversation that we need that fuels change.
I like how you said goals at a time.
Hey, you see what I did there? You see what I did there?
Hey, you're so slick, Rick. And don't forget, David, we've got a few surprises in store, including our Fiesta Friday playlist.
Hey, te
And
quiero
a
saber, por
scrumptious-
eso todo en poco.
and a scrumptious snack attack
Brought instruments.
throwback
Hey,
that'll
love
have
it.
you feeling nostalgic. Wait, are we allowed to say? I'm not
No,
gonna- no.
apparently
Okay,
not.
I guess not. We'll
I
find
thought about
out.
it.
But as always, I will also be bringing a little inspo for the soul, positivity and culture, and those deeper questions that connect us all.
I love that. That's right, because it's fierce, it's fresh, and it's Sunny TV, and we are super happy to be here live
from the Black Box at the Limelight Theater. It's Sunny TV.
Oh, I love that intro. You guys are amazing, and so are these title sponsors, the Bailey Group and Steve Chapman's All American Air.
Be ready for anything with the Bailey Group, an NFP company. Life is full of unexpected moments. Whether it's securing your family's future, protecting your business, or planning for individual wealth, the Bailey Group is here to guide you every single step of the way. Since 1954, the Bailey Group has been a trusted cornerstone of the St. Augustine community. Under the leadership of President Mark Bailey, they've grown from a local agency into a nationally recognized firm, offering tailored solutions for individuals, families, and businesses, with a focus on individual health and life insurance, Medicare solutions, group insurance, and property and casualty commercial coverage. The Bailey Group combines cutting-edge technology, strategic partnerships, and personalized service to deliver the peace of mind you deserve. Give them a call today, 904-461-1800.
Hi, I'm Steve Chapman, owner of All American Air Conditioning and Heating. For over 40 years, we've been serving St. Augustine and the surrounding areas. We're the largest HVAC dealer in St. Johns County, providing high-quality service and products. With courteous technicians responding to your HVAC needs, our expertise will give you confidence in your investment. Family-owned All American Air Conditioning, voted Best of St. Augustine for more than 20 years running.
You know, when I see those title sponsors, I think legacy in this town. I mean, the Bailey Group has been around for 67 years, doing some great things for nonprofits, local businesses, And of course, the ALS Walk, which is coming up November 8th. Everyone show up and show out. If you're having trouble registering, just get at your boy. Just slip into my DMs, baby, and let me know. It
You
doesn't
like when
always
they
mean
do
a
that.
bad thing. It always could be a good thing, actually.
Yes.
But let me know. Just send me your email address, and I will get you and your family registered, because this is a beautiful walk around our town, and we have over like 600 different sports teams coming out. I mean, not actual teams itself, but like the actual members of their teams.
Representation.
All over Flagler College. Thank
Yep.
you, Women of Vision. And of course, we've got all the like Tokoi cheer team. Zone Cheer is going to be showing up and showing out. Really excited. So yeah, ALS Walk, super important. And of course, Steve Chapman's All-American Air is a big sponsor of that. And we are super proud of that moment. ALS Walk, November 8th, boo. Let me know. All right.
Yes.
Mel, let's get into this inaccurate, well, today probably will be accurate, weather report.
Today is Fungal Friday.
Nice.
Guys, every weather channel, even NPR, this whole week, they're like, it's going to be a clear. They have no idea why all of a sudden it's been raining all
They're
week.
not listening to you enough, obviously.
I mean, I
It's
swear to
horrible,
God.
yeah.
So today, it is fierce, feisty, and fabulously flirting with flashy flashes of lightning and full-blooded Florida heat.
Ooh.
So, here you go. It's going to rain.
It's gonna rain.
Keeping it real.
All freaking day.
Keeping
I
it
wore
real.
my rain boots for that
Yes.
reason.
So it is currently 75 degrees.
Yep.
It's going to get up to about 78. So humidity is still pretty high, but with this rain, you're going to wear a hat on your head anyway or a hood. So
Yeah.
does it really matter what your hair looks
So
like?
let me ask you this, Miss Meteorologist.
What you got?
Is this rain going to be pushing out this humidity? Are we
Yes.
going to start feeling some fall vibes? I'm ready.
Well,
Everybody put hashtag fall vibes in the
Guys,
comments right
we
now.
have a nor'easter.
Okay.
coming in.
As Susan says, northeaster.
So tomorrow it's going to rain a little bit, then start to clear up, but it's going to be like 68 tonight and tomorrow night. And Sunday, the high is only supposed to be like 78.
Oh, okay.
So for all of
Okay.
us, that means long sleeve shirts and hoodies.
Yeah,
So
it's
right
cold.
now, the precipitation is showing at 0.00 inches
Okay. Well,
and only a 25% chance.
I feel
Really,
like I dated him. Go ahead.
guys, I think here's what's going to happen. I think I'm just going to start creating my own forecast without reading things because guess what? None of it's right anyway. So
Right.
It's true.
you know what?
I always thought of you, my best friend, as a walking barometer, basically.
It's
My
because the
hair
hair.
My hair is.
See,
Let me know in
surrounded by two
comments,
of us.
guys, what the weather's like by you, and if you have a certain like raincoat that you like, let me know.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, you
Let's
just
see.
missed Amazon Prime Day, but you might be able to get it for Black Friday.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's it.
Sonny's, we got the local music report. Obviously, there's going to be some rain cancellations today, so make sure you're checking these musicians' social media pages. But regardless, we want to give them a good shout out today. So, strum it, drum it, hum it down, Sonnies. This is time for the local music report to make you proud on this Friday, October 10th. We're in double digits October right now.
Whoa.
We got Sean Ryan at 1 o'clock at the Backyard Island Cafe at Meehan's. Colin Costco, 1 o'clock at La Cocina at the cellar upstairs. Mike Cook at 4 o'clock at the Guy Harvey Resort. Contact Buzz at the Nocatee Food Truck Friday. Not sure if that's happening at 4:30.
Ooh.
John Q at the Milltop Tavern. Hopefully they give him an umbrella at 4:30. Beck and Summers Band. Oh, I haven't seen them in a bit. 5 o'clock
Wow.
at the Tides Oyster Company. Joshua Tennessee Worthy, 5:30 p.m. at Funkadelic Food Shack. Jonathan Lee Dotson, 6 o'clock at Celebration Hall. Those guys.
I love that.
Me too. That's a great.
Who's
that's
playing?
a great.
You know those guys.
Those guys, yeah, 6 o'clock at Hurricane Grill. And Wings, Kevin Edwards, 6 o'clock at Marina Munch. Claremont Duo.
Sounds so fancy.
At Prohibition Kitchen, 6 o'clock. Vinny Jacobs, 6 at the Oasis. And Bad Endings. Sounds like really good barbecue, right? Bad, like
Yeah.
burnt ends or something. I don't know. Bad Endings at 6 o'clock p.m. Pesca Volano by Michael Lugo. Something tells me that'll be a happy one. Brett Blackshear, 6 o'clock p.m. at Salt Life Food Shack. Dharma.
I love how
They're
you say their
great.
name. I bet they love how to say it too.
Right, Dharma at Casa Divino, 57, 7 o'clock p.m. Fawn Kaiser, 7 p.m. at Dirty Nelly's. Hey, that's that new pub over in Volano. Check that out. Pretty awesome spot. Zaza Flamenca at La Cocina, 7 o'clock. Baby Gray at 7 at Meehan's Irish Pub. We got Cottonmouth at 7 o'clock p.m. at Arnold's Lounge. Gosh, I haven't been to Arnold's in a bit.
No, I haven't either.
Where did they do that show? What was that called?
Bar Rescue, but you know what? They didn't really do much.
They cleaned it up a little bit, right? I mean,
They painted
like the vibe of the dirty bar. You know what I mean?
They painted the inside and put a big old alligator in there, but that's about the extent of it.
Hey, we got Cottonmouth at 7 o'clock p.m. at Arnold's Lounge. We got Matt Wilson at Cortez's Bistro at 8. And finishing out tonight, we got Chuck and Elliot at the Milltop Tavern at 9. And also, don't forget, we're at Halfway Sweetwater at the Oak. This is going to be a great festival. We've been covering it all week. And shout out to everybody at the Colonial Oak Music Park. You guys are amazing. And yeah, hopefully that'll be a successful
Guess
weekend.
what?
You got a joke?
Yeah, I do.
Let's do it.
Vicky's ready. Here we go.
All right.
Knock, knock.
Who dare?
Lettuce.
Let us in?
No, you're supposed to say lettuce who?
Let us who?
Let us in. It's raining out here. I got to do another one.
All
Hold
right,
on.
I screwed it up. Yep.
God.
Okay.
Knock, knock.
Who dare?
Alpaca.
Alpaca who?
Alpaca the suitcase. You load the car.
Hey! I love it. I love it. And I love our Sunny TV interview. Sunny, we are all about shining light on people making a difference. And today we've got two incredible guests in the studio. Please welcome Bethany Hilbert and Tony Williams from the Protential Foundation, doing some great things. Their Passport to Prosperity program is breaking barriers by pairing the love of soccer with the power of education, giving kids in the St. Johns County the tools, the confidence, and the opportunities to thrive. I know for our UK audience that's out there, we'll call it the football, because I know they'll come for me for the jugular, right,
Yeah.
Rachel? Yeah. From book drives to competitive play, the character development to college pathways, this program is a game changer, and we can't wait to hear how it's transforming lives. Folks, thanks so much for being here on Sunny TV. Welcome.
Thanks, Davey. It's great to be here.
Awesome. Hey, let's dive into the conversation. Where did this foundation start and what's it all about?
Yeah, the mission of the Protential Foundation is to leverage the power of soccer to transform the future of at-risk kids in underserved community.
Cool.
The vision is to create the next generation of community game changers. How we do that is we go into an underserved community like West Augustine and create this progressive continuum of opportunity, starting in the elementary school, following them to the middle school, following to the high school, and then one day, the 6-year-old from Webster School will come out of Flagler College, either sports management or social entrepreneurship, and be the director of West Augustine for Protential.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's a whole chain of success right there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, Bethany, you've been around kids for so long, right? And so, did you really see a need here to really kind of shape the paradigm of some of these kids?
Well, I think a big part of that is with my own son Grayson, and that's kind of how Tony and I met, was because my son's a soccer player, and he's in high school now, and he actually now
He's in high school now?
He's in high
God
school now.
bless
He
you.
just turned 15.
You don't even look old enough to have
That's
a
amazing. That's amazing. I remember when he was such a baby.
I know, but he, looking for ways to develop character in your own kids.
Yeah.
That was kind of what connected us, and we started talking about it. And yeah, there's a huge need in our community for just different opportunities and to open doors for the kids that live in our community.
That's
and
awesome.
so for the Webster kids that we work with right now, it's opening the doors to soccer. It's opening the doors to caring about reading and being motivated. And then for our high school students that come back and volunteer in the program, Grayson being one of them, it's giving them the opportunity to give back. Because, a lot of the soccer players that are in club soccer, whether it's Ancient City or some of the other local clubs around town, they really care about giving back because they had coaches that gave to them.
True.
And they still have people that are giving to them. And so this is a way that they can show development that they received and give it to someone else.
So can you really quick talk about the Webster School and how important it is? It's one of our Title I schools. It's a really, really special school. And a lot of these kids don't really get the opportunities that other school kids get. So real quick, can you just give a rundown on why this partnership is so special with Webster?
It's critically important to partner. You're never going to achieve anything significant or sustainable trying to work on your own. So, it's about removing the barriers to entry. There's not many single moms in West Augustine that say, on a Friday afternoon, I'm going to take my kid to Gamble Rogers.
True.
Or I'm going to be able to afford $2,000 to play in Ancient City. So we've got to take soccer to them rather than expecting them to come to us.
That's awesome.
So we go to, it first came about through Mark Bailey.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. They're amazing.
My wife's been nagging me for years to get health insurance, and I'd resisted it. And when I turned 50, she said, "You've got to do it, Tom."
Yeah.
So I said, we get health insurance. She said, "You've got to go to the Bailey Group." So I'm sitting in the Bailey Group.
Amazing team, yeah.
Yeah, amazing team. And there was a guy sitting there in board shorts.
Yep.
And he said, "Where's that accent from?" I said, "Liverpool." He said, "You're into soccer?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "Well, I want to spend the rest of my life in St. Augustine. I want to have a positive impact." He said, "Let's sit down."
Amazing.
So when we
That's my
we
buddy
sat,
Mark,
yeah,
yeah.
he's class act.
Yeah,
He's a class
totally.
act. So we sat down for lunch and we explained what the vision was. And he said, I said, if there's one community that we can go in St. John's County and one school, where should it be? And he said, go down to West King Street into Webster School.
Yep.
So we sat down with the principal and said, if there's one thing that we could do for you, what would it be? And she said, reading.
Absolutely.
So we connected reading with soccer. So my wife and I went and bought books for every kid to read about adversity through soccer of their role models.
Cool.
And then we partnered with Flagler College to create a Reading Stars program. So kids take the books home and read. They have a reading log. Did you read today? Yes or no? How many minutes? And then we soccerize it. We create a Reading Stars League.
I love it.
And that's where the leverage comes in. Because if you read, you can play for the Webster Wolverines on a Friday night at Ancient City. If you don't read, you can't play.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got parents at 10 o'clock on Thursday night
Right.
texting the reading logs in there.
Oh my
That's
God, I love
awesome,
that.
though.
So-
It really kind of gives these kids an opportunity, and it really kind of shines a good light on discipline, right? Which is such an important factor with soccer and being an athlete
Yeah.
and being a great student.
100%.
So now, Tony, when we were talking before the show, that you have a pretty interesting, pretty cool thing that you do in the soccer world. So what is that
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, I was a national scout for US Soccer Foundation. So I was fortunate enough to trip across Freddie Adu, who's the youngest ever professional player. And then I went to US Soccer and said, we're fishing in the wrong pond, and we should be doing a lot more than just going into underserved communities, picking out the best players. We should go in and invest in local young leaders and turn them into community champions of the future.
Yeah.
Use sport for social change.
Yeah.
So they said, it's very honourable, but we haven't got the money. And I said, well, if I raise the money, will you support me? And they said, yeah. So we created a foundation in Philadelphia called the Starfinder Foundation, which took kids who were dealing drugs outside middle schools, give them referees badges and coaching licenses, put them back in those schools, talking to kids about don't make the same mistake I did and resist peer pressure.
Yeah.
20 years later, some of the kids that started in the program are now running the program. So we want to bring that same model and adapt it to St. John's County.
Now, Bethany, you have been a teacher in St. John's County School District for many years. So when you found this foundation, I mean, obviously your son is a soccer player, but it just kind of made sense. Talk about that synergy and how, like, this new evolution, this new chapter in your life.
Well, you know, I love teaching. I love working with kids. It's a passion of mine. It's been a passion for, I taught in the classroom for 21 years.
Yeah.
But I was ready to do something a little bit different. I knew that I wanted to continue working with kids and use the skills that I'd acquired, especially with intervention, and still do that here in St. John's County. And so when Tony and I got together, he was like, we really need to deepen our impact, because the reading logs, great motivators for the kids to play, but there's some other barriers. You know, if a student is reading below grade level, they can only do so much independent reading on their own, right? So they can't really go home and independently read if they have an academic challenge there. So what can we do to deepen that impact? And so right now, currently in the program, between our volunteers and myself, we go in and we have soccerized lesson plans based on the Florida Best standards, the
So cool.
standards that come from the state, and we deliver these lessons to the kids. And so that's just one part of it with the after school program. The second part is really identifying the kids who need real intervention and working with the school to provide some additional supports for them and to give them to work on a plan that gives them additional support so that they can go home and they can read on their own. And so that's really, it's that process of getting the kids to where they need to be with their reading.
So Tony, how did you know this was going to be successful? I mean, you really took a risk here of saying, like, yes, I think this is going to work for St. John's County. Where did you have that faith over fear in this moment?
Well, I knew from the time in Philadelphia, regardless of whether the kids have ever kicked a soccer ball before, kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So if you go in and you genuinely, you can tell with the cheerleading, you know, if kids can see you genuinely care about them and you want to open up doors of opportunity, then they'll learn the technical skills.
Oh yeah,
But-
like I can tell. I've had
Yeah.
so many athletes over the years. I've been doing this since I was 18.
Yeah.
I've had so many athletes over the years. Some that had they'd never done a stunt in their life. They've never tumbled, but they knew like, okay, Coach Mel thinks I can do this, and all of a sudden, by the time they get to be a senior, they're one of the strongest athletes in the gym. It's amazing as long as you like give that attention, and you have to figure out what drives each individual child. Like for some, it's tough coaching. Some it's like, yes, girls. Some it's
Yeah.
candy.
Yeah.
Give them candy.
True. Yeah.
But you figure it out, and
The
I
driving
think,
forces.
Yeah, and when you see that the light bulb go off, it is the coolest feeling you'll ever have in your
You're the
life.
coolest feeling that I'll ever have in my life.
Aw.
But like, let's talk about the parents. I mean, did you get some pushback from parents? Were they a little bit nervous about, God, what is this going to do? I mean, we have after-school program. What were the parents' feedback like?
The parents have been tremendously supportive because their commitment will be in direct correlation with how much involvement you give them. So we spoke to them at the beginning and said, this is the pathway, this is why we want to support your kids, and this is how we need your support. And you know, if you take Oyster Creek projects, when we were in Webster School, it went from 18 kids to 53 kids.
Yes.
So we knew it was going to be successful because of the demand.
I love that.
But then when you meet with Greg White and other West Augustine community leaders, they said, Tony, this is amazing, your passion and your commitment to this community, but there's families who cannot pick their kids up from West Augustine. What can you do for them? Well, we're going to go to them.
Yeah.
So we went to Oyster Creek, the residents of Oyster Creek, and we're working on a concrete basketball court.
Hey, you know what?
And then
Figure it out.
to your question, on the first night, all the parents brought the kids and they sat there and watching to see if we were trustworthy.
Yeah.
And then once come in and listen. Listen to the character champions, listen to the field trip opportunities, listen to the importance of academic excellence. We want to pour support and love into your kids and give them pathways of opportunity. The second week, there was not one parent there.
Wow.
And we
It's
asked,
interesting too.
Yeah.
We have parents are allowed to view all practices,
Yeah.
all tumbling classes, and some of them they come and they stay for hours, and then
Yeah.
the following weeks they're like,
they're okay.
So let's get into the mentorship too and the whole Flagler College side of this. You said the field trips and honestly opening up it's surprising to me when I was with Inc. investing in kids in the foundation and seeing kids that, you know, are in West Augustine but they've never been to the beach or they've never seen Flagler College ever. But like talk about that and how important that is.
I'm going to start with that. So over the summer, one of the big things was a field trip to the beach in the summer program. And the kids just loved it so much because they don't get to go very often. And I'll bring Grayson back up because he volunteered that day in the program. And when I picked him up, he came home and he goes, Mom, that was the most fun that I've had. And he was like, it was so fun running around, kicking the ball with him on the beach. It was really fun, like, you know, just going out in the ocean because they were so genuinely happy to be there.
like excited.
And they were so excited to be there. But then on top of that, as far as the partnership with Flagler, so there's two ways that we've partnered with them for our volunteers. There's another huge amount of partnership that we have with Flagler, but for our volunteers specifically, we've partnered with the Flagler Education Department. So their education students have a community service element, and so to fulfill their community service hours, they come in and volunteer in the program and work with the kids on the reading part of the program. So they come for the reading part. The second way that we volunteer or partner with Flagler is through their with their soccer teams. So then the soccer players from both the girls and the boys team come in and volunteer in the program and work with the kids on soccer.
And mentorship is so great, right?
It is. The kids absolutely love it. And what's so special about it is it gives them a glimpse into what their future could look like.
Right.
So they have the mentors of the high school kids that come from our youth leadership program, and it's like, oh, this is what I could look like in high school. And then they have the mentors that come from Flagler in the ed department or the soccer players, and they're like, oh, this is what I could look like when I'm going to college. And so it's so impactful for them because they can see into their future and like it's attainable for them.
I'll tell you what, sports is so important for kids. You learn so much. Like, I think I learned more from sports about like life and how to do things than I did at any book because I was not a good student. It's not a secret. Like, I did not like school, but I excelled in sports. Like, you learn how to work as a team. You know, you learn that in sports you can get through anything. Like, no matter what, you're going to figure out a way to do it.
You're never going to develop players unless you develop people. And regardless of how high the soccer ladder these kids climb, the values that they learn through the Character Champions will lay a foundation for a great future. And you nailed it, Davey, when you said the importance of mentoring. To be able to put positive character role models in the lives of these young people on a consistent basis is of paramount importance. And an example of that is we have a little girl in our program. She's 8 years old, Hispanic girl, absolutely loves soccer.
Awesome.
She's incredibly
I got
talented.
chills. Awesome.
She's playing 2 years out of her age on a boys' team.
Oh my
She
God,
scored.
yes, girl.
Scored the game equalizing goal against the Jacksonville team the other day. Made the game-saving tackle. But more importantly, she's getting individual ESL tutoring through Bethany's program.
I love that.
But because she's reading, she got a chance to go and watch a Flagler soccer game on Wednesday night. And Conchi Sanchez, who's a fantastic human being that's the assistant coach there, takes our girls into the girls' changing room and basically said to them, if I can do it, so can you do it.
Yeah.
Concentrate on your academics, make good decisions off the field, and train away from training. And at the end, we got a picture of the little girl pointing to the Flagler shirt and saying, this can be me. It brings tear to a glass eye.
I'm choked up. That's awesome. That is so cool to see that.
I know.
One of the organizations that we talk heavily on this show is Epic Behavioral Healthcare. What's up with that partnership, and how has that helped you elevate this program?
Massively. When you talk about student, it's Mental Health Awareness Day. When you talk about student mental health, it's not something that you just want to try and make up as you go along. You go to subject matter experts, and there's no one better in this town than Epic Behavioral Health.
Yeah.
So what we realized is when we were playing small-sided games, the kids were melting down. At the slightest bit of conflict, they'd fly off like a firework.
Right.
They'd be cursing each other, they'd be punching each other, and they couldn't control their emotions. So we went to Epic and said, this is the biggest need in our program right now. And they said, no problem. We'll bring our staff out. So when Bethany has Flagler students, one to three kids in the classroom, on the field, we've got a Flagler soccer coach and we've got an Epic Behavior Health coach. So when that kid melts down, we're right in there with the coaching of emotional control. So last spring, Epic came in and did an emotional control module where they're teaching the kids the zones of regulation. So were you mad and frustrated? Were you happy? And if you're in the red zone, which is in the danger zone, like how did it happen? So then they go out and play at half time. Who was in the red zone? Hands up. The other kids are saying, this is how you could stop and prevent yourself from getting in the red zone.
Amazing.
Second half, how many hands? If there's less hands, job done. That's what we're coaching, emotional control.
Yeah.
And then even more importantly, Davey, is for the kids who have experienced deep trauma that need counseling, there's a stigma to mental health.
Oh, yes.
And there's also an obstacle to awareness for the parents. We've now got parents coming to our program that break down that barriers with Epic that can now get the help that their kids need without feeling embarrassed.
Wow.
So
Wow,
it's
this is powerful.
Yeah, it's
Bethany, you want to expand on that a little bit?
Well, I think, like what we said before, partnerships are everything. You can't work in a silo and so the more people that you that you can partner with that are experts, I'm an expert in education and I can
That's your
intervene, and
superpower,
That's my
yeah.
superpower, but I am not an expert in mental health.
Yeah.
That's not, and so I think to definitely Tony's credit is looking for all these places in the community that can provide that support and those partnerships, and then continuing reaching out because that's another big one is just staying in contact with all of our partners and saying, hey, we're noticing that we need this.
Yes.
Can you come in and help us with this? And what can we help you with? What can we do? So another another way that we've partnered is Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Oh, cool.
With Teresa. So she's provided a lot of help and been so knowledgeable in helping us. So one of the things that we're doing is we're doing Ancient City Kids Day for them, and we're providing a soccer clinic for the kids in their program, and then also for the kids in the community. So those partnerships are a lot about here's how you can help us, but here's how we would like to help you too.
I love that.
And so that's what keeps it going.
So then I'm going to pivot that question back to the both of you. How can Sunny TV, how can the community rally? How can we support you guys?
Oh, he's like, I got a list.
Yeah, he's like ready. Yes, yes.
Like, I've been writing the whole show. It's
Here's
time
one
to
I
name
prepared
it.
earlier.
Name it and claim it. Let's go.
Time, treasure, and talent, isn't it?
Yes.
The community has already wrapped its arm. What an amazing place St. Augustine is. It's so compassionate. It's not pretentious. Everybody's working together. And you never get to 6 degrees of separation here, do you?
No.
You're lucky to get to 2.
Right.
Everybody knows each other.
This is
And
why I don't date anybody.
Yeah,
in
they
town.
don't mention businesses. They just mention couples. Go and see this couple.
Exactly.
So, yeah, the networking and the community here is incredible. So there's 3 ways, really. One is through this campaign. 2/3 of kids that are not reading proficiently by the end of 4th grade end up in jail and on welfare. 60% of houses in underserved communities in low-income communities do not have a book. So we can't improve the reading if they're just reading in school. They've got to be reading at home. So that's why this book drive is more important than anything else.
Cool.
Is to put books and get a love of learning. They can't have a love of reading if they haven't got a book to read. So that's one way, is the
What
book.
kinds of books, though?
I'll let
Really, we will take any book. Anything that would be kindergarten level to even 8th grade level, because we have middle schoolers in the
through 8th.
program.
Okay. Yeah, we learned the hard way, not Truman Capote. I mean, that was on our book.
Yeah.
That was not a good
Yeah, no,
suggestion.
I
Love
mean,
you, Aaron.
The other big thing is, thinking about, especially families and parents, thinking about what your kids like to read, because if they're books that your kids like to read, they're books that our kids like to read.
Fantastic.
A lot of the series, a lot of graphic novels, like things
they
that are
be used
really
books?
popular. Yes,
Okay.
gently used books, new books. We will take them all because we're giving them out, and so we give them out to the kids at Webster. We are giving them out to the kids at Oyster Creek, and then there's going to be other opportunities. So the more books that we can get in, the better. The other big component of that, and it kind of ties along, we're doing the book and soccer equipment drive, but kids grow out of books quickly, and kids grow out of their soccer equipment. And so one of the reasons why it's so important to kind of mesh both of those together is it takes away that barrier for a lot of our families, because they might be able to afford to buy 1 pair of cleats, but they wouldn't be able to afford to buy 4 or 5 pairs of cleats, and kids' feet grow really fast.
Yeah.
And so it helps with both the families that want to give, because I know as a soccer mom, there were some seasons where Grayson didn't even wear his cleats out. He wore them 4 or 5 times, and he's like, oh, they're already too small. So I always had a plethora of
Extra cleats.
Extra cleats.
Cool.
So that helps our families, in the community, because here's a place that you can take them and do something with them. And then for our kids, it gives them the opportunity to just play and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
there's really 3 ways, Davey, that Sunnies out there can help the kids within our foundation. The one is the book and equipment drive, which runs from October the 20th to the 6th of November. So if there's families out there that are already members of Ancient City, then it's just simply, whenever you come to training or games, just drop off the equipment under the canopy at Gamble, and we'll get it to where it needs to get to.
Just put the picture up.
Yeah, thanks. That looks
Thank
lovely.
you.
Thank you.
Perfect.
And then if the Sunnies out there that are non-member of Ancient City, then they can drop it off at Herbie Wiles Insurance, which is one of our community impact partners. And Bethany's working really hard to connect other community partners as drop-off locations. So that's the first one. The second one is volunteer. We have a population of retired school teachers who can get partnered with Bethany and come and volunteer their time to tutor those kids who are reading below grade level so we can help support their reading gains.
Cool.
Or within corporations, you know, Barwick Bank, a tremendous partner of ours.
Yeah.
They have an Italian guy who's a soccer coach
Hey.
that they're now say, hey, we got Andrea. Why doesn't he come and volunteer and coach soccer with you?
Nice.
So now that's a
Shout
win.
out to
That's a
Chad
win-win-win.
and
You know,
team.
Chad's a class act
Chad
as well.
is amazing. That's
Absolutely
awesome.
brilliant. And the third way is to donate or sponsor. You know, to be honest, the impact. We need the income to expand the impact.
Yes,
So whether you've got $25, $50, or $100, they can buy shin guards, cleats, books. They can sponsor a child to come into a program. Whatever you can afford, we'll get to the front lines, to the programming. And then, obviously, the corporate partners can either sponsor a kid, sponsor a school, sponsor a program. So if there's anybody out there that's interested in, if you think this would be a good brand to associate your brand with, then you can contact me at tony@protential.org, or my cell phone is 484-252-3779, and all that information's on our website.
Fantastic.
So
You guys are amazing.
Amazing. Thank you both for your time
Yeah.
today.
Good morning with
What
us.
an incredible journey. And please keep me posted. We got to have you back on the show. We got to have some updates because this is
We
such a
should
special
go and
thing.
play soccer with the kids. you
Ancient
guys.
City Kids Day, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you should
We'll
definitely
be there,
come
Ancient
out.
City
Can we,
Kids Day
can
for
the
sure.
Sunny team come and play soccer with the
100%, and bring those Italian pastries as well.
Thank you
They
guys
can be
so
the
much.
snacks.
So good. All right, folks, we're going to jump to a commercial break real quick with Maritime Creative and Flashes and Brilliance.
Maritime Vibe Check!
Fresh version.
When the lights come on and the magic begins,
There's a crew behind the scenes that always wins.
Maritime Creative, they set the stage.
From sound to lights to video waves.
Big show, small space, doesn't matter a bit.
They show up, they glow up, they make it all lit.
No panic, no chaos, just smooth, clean flow.
They take a wild idea and make it glow.
Need a vibe, they build it.
Have a dream, they get it.
From spark to spotlight, they never forget it.
I trust them, I love them, they come on through.
Maritime Creative, that's the real stuff, boo.
So if you want your moment to rise and shine,
Call the crew that always gets it right every time. It's Maritime. Got gold? Got silver? Got a drawer full of what even is this? Then it's time to cash in with Flashes and Brilliance, Northeast Florida's most trusted gold buyers. They're not just buying gold, they're buying silver, rare coins, fine watches, estate jewelry, and all the sparkle you forgot you had. Don't just sit on your treasure. Turn it into cash today. Call John and Steph, the pros who make it easy. 904-540-7617. It's fast, it's friendly, it's Flashes and Brilliance, because your buried treasure belongs in your bank account.
All right, Sonnies, we've got a really special event here at our home, Limelight Theater, okay? This weekend, the stage at Limelight Theater lights up with a very powerful story with a very powerful cause, something we're super proud about. Shout out to Commissioner Sarah Arnold. This is a fundraiser for the foundation of the Black History Museum. Really super exciting. Featured a stage reading of When All the Saints Are Gathered by Nicky Toombs. It's set in St. Augustine at the height of the Civil Rights Movement. This play follows 5 students standing beside local leader, Dr. Robert Haling. For the training, the marching, and risking everything for the fight for justice. I mean, Ashim, you're really aware that the Civil Rights Movement was so impactful in our town. You want to speak a little bit on behalf of that?
Yeah, I think it was actually a visit here to St. Augustine that really prompted Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., to propose and then push for the passing of the Civil Rights Act. So we were like a turning point in the civil rights movement here in the United States. And you know, we've probably all seen the horrible news stories that happened. Some of those occurrences did happen here in town, like the incident with the pool at the hotel that was previously on the Bayfront.
Yeah, right.
So we have a very rich history steeped in the civil rights movement, and so I think it's absolutely phenomenal that we're going to get this museum
This
here.
is a world premiere.
Yeah, it's really exciting that we're going
so
to have this
excited.
story told here on this stage, here at the Limelight. So for those of you who are in town this weekend looking for something to do that's indoors,
Yes,
because we
ma'am.
have this horrible weather, why not come support the theater, learn about our local history, support this world premiere, which is extremely exciting for us. So I think it's a great
October
great event.
11th is the really fancy pants night. That's the big fundraiser night. Yep, tomorrow you can enjoy food, drinks, and an elevated staged reading for $100 a ticket. But there's also an opportunity out there too. For $25 a ticket, you can have the enhanced reading on Sunday, October 12th. So yeah, check that out. Go to limelighttheater.org. Super inspiring to be able to see that and have this in our town. It's an awesome one. I'm really excited to,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to start getting into the conversations about the History Museum.
Yes.
All right, Sonnies, it's a time for Friday. We are moving into Inspo with Ashim. We are talking everything in a deep dive into Puerto Rican culture. And
Yay.
of course, my man, my hottie McHottie is Bad Bunny, who's going to be performing at the Super Bowl. We're going to dive into this conversation. Obviously, it's controversial out there, but we're going to give you a little bit of taste of Puerto Rican flavor, right?
Yes,
Listen,
absolutely.
If it's anything like those pastries this morning, I now
Those
identify as
pastries
Puerto
were
Rican.
off the chain.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, there were so many things. The guava, I think the guava pastel
The
and
cheese
the
one.
cheese one were my two
my-
favorites.
yeah.
So, you know, we talked about a little bit about this last weekend, how music is this unifier and how exciting that we're going to have Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl. Whatever your opinions may be on that, I'm going to try to enlighten and share why I feel like it's extremely important and why I'm very excited about this. And this is actually also, we're going into our last week of Hispanic Heritage Month, so what a perfect time
Perfect.
to celebrate part of our own Hispanic heritage here in the United States. So as you all know, Puerto Rico is actually part of the United States. I know it seems to be up for
What?
debate.
No.
What? And you know, has been part of our nation since the late 1800s, since I think it was 1898. And then citizenship was granted to the island of Puerto Rico and all the citizens there in 1917. So there was an act that Congress passed that said if you're living in our island of Puerto Rico, that you are also a U.S. citizen. So yes, our Puerto Rican brethren, you are us, we are you, we're all American citizens together. What I think is very special about the island culture that you have there is that, you know, I think about it this way, like people are very proud of where they're from. Whether you're from a different state, whether you're from the Midwest, whether you're from the mountains, people are very proud of their roots and their history. And in Puerto Rico, that history is still very much alive because you have a lot of the traditions there that exist to this day. And there are certain musical genres, for example, the plena, that was founded in Puerto Rico. It's a very Puerto Rican music form, just like, you know, jazz in the South and in New Orleans. There's certain sounds that are very regional. In Puerto Rico, you have the plena, and it's still very popular to this day, and it's been kind of, I don't want to say commercialized, but it's sort of morphed into this sound that you'll hear on the radio, you'll hear in Bad Bunny's music.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's what's so special about it, is you took a very traditional art form of music, and you made it into something that newer generations will listen to today. And plena started out in the area of, on the island called Ponce, and it was started as a way of narrative storytelling. And we talked a little bit about this last week as well, that for centuries, music has been used to tell stories. And so you had these, like, think about the areas on that island, if you've ever been there, you've got the beaches, you've got mountains, you've got this very rugged terrain, and you could tell stories across the way, and people would hear the stories, and you could relate your history. And so it became this way to tell the stories and the narratives of working class people. So that's where plena came from, and now it's very much a, you know, it's an art form that when you hear that sound, you know it's a song from Puerto Rico. Like, there's a sound that you hear, and there's certain instruments that are part of it. I have one here. This is called a huiro. This is it's a gourd, and like you hear that little scratching sound. There's like a little comb that you use, and you can also use a stick, and you play that. It's a percussive instrument. So the plena usually has a lot of percussion. There's also a handheld drum, which I have over there. I didn't bring it on stage, but there's a lot of percussion-driven sounds that are part of this.
Kind of the rhythm of life.
Yes.
Kind of just keeps you balanced. Sort of like how the water kind of keeps surfers and swimmers balanced.
Yes.
But this music keeps the people, the tierra, like everybody is with it, the culture. I love that.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
I love the working class statement that you just made, because Bad Bunny he was a grocery
He
bagger.
was a grocery bagger.
Yeah.
And for years, he was turned down by music executive after music executive. So, you know, we often think about the American dream, right? People hear this story about the American dream, and you can go to the U.S. and you can accomplish anything as long as you put your heart into it and you work really hard. And he is a great example of this, right? He was living as on the island and working as a bagger and trying to get someone to listen to his music, and everyone kept telling him no. They said there was no place for it, that he had a strange sound, that his voice was weird, that he didn't look right, and he didn't give up. He started loading his own music onto SoundCloud, and after years and years and years of essentially producing his own sound and his own music, it finally caught on. And now he is, there's this debate whether it's Taylor or whether it's him, but there's this, he's become
no,
one
it's
of the,
Bad Bunny.
It's
Let's
Bad
be
Bunny.
real. Bad Bunny
Yes.
is incredible.
He's
yeah.
he is the most streamed artist in the world.
Absolutely.
And you think about what humble beginnings, but he never forgot those beginnings. I think that's why also his last album was so special for a lot of people, because for years he really played more like, like club music, like reggaeton, which is a fusion of like hip hop and kind of like Afro-Caribbean sounds. Then he kind of moved into trapero music, which is a little bit more like deep, if you think about like deep house maybe, kind of like the equivalent of that. But then this last album, he brought in a lot more of those traditional sounds, the plena sound, and he wanted to do it as a way to honor the island where he came from. And if you saw any of the concerts that he streamed, he had a 31-day residency, which
This is
is
incredible,
also
yeah.
amazing. I have friends from other parts of the world and in the US who flew out to the island to experience it, and they said it wasn't just a concert, it was a true experience because the energy in that place was electric, which is why I'm so excited for his performance at the Super Bowl. I can feel that energy is going to translate really well.
But this is not his first gig at the
No.
Super Bowl either.
Wait,
he
no,
was with
he was
J-Lo
there.
and
I,
Shakira that
yes.
year. And
I have a point to that. So
Yeah.
everybody's kind of upset. There's a lot, well, not everybody, a lot of people
Yeah,
are
there's a lot of
upset,
people
but
upset
nobody
about
got
it.
upset when Enrique Iglesias performed, Gloria Estefan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I think right now, let's be honest, we're in a very divisive kind of, our country's in a very divisive
we're struggling
state.
with identity.
I think so. But when I think about, and I mentioned this last week as well, when I think about the US, we were this great melting pot where everyone could come together and
We still are,
would-
but we forgot.
Yes, and we could celebrate one another and live together as a community, but still with our own individual uniqueness, right? That's something that's also very American, is everyone wants to be known for being unique in their own way. Well, this is also acknowledging that we each have unique backgrounds and unique heritages, and it's okay to celebrate them. There's this whole thing about he should be performing in English. Well, English wasn't our national language until it became an executive order in March of this year. Our entire history, even as the founding fathers were debating this, they chose not to include English as our only language in that constitution, because back at that time, you had people who came here who spoke German, who spoke Dutch, and they didn't want one person to feel left out over the other. So they had conversations about this, and I obviously wasn't there, but if you read the historical books, there were conversations where they debated this topic, and they chose not to because they felt it was undemocratic to enforce one language in the Constitution. So I think when you look back at our roots, we should be embracing this. This is part of who we are. We are a large, beautiful country with all these different nationalities, or I should say ethnic backgrounds, and it's a lovely thing that we should be able to allow ourselves to celebrate and appreciate that. But back to the hat, I do want to mention why this hat was so important. If you saw any of the pictures or videos of Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico during his residency, this hat's called a pava. And the reason it was so important, it's become kind of a symbol, is this is originally the hat that I guess you would say farmers, the subsistence farmers wore back in the day. So historically, this was like if you wore this, you were a farmer. But more recently, it's become known as a symbol for those who are looking to be stewards of the island, to honor the legacy of the island, to honor the legacy of their history, to tend to their island with care, because they want people to enjoy the island, but also not exploit it for all the resources that it has, because it's a beautiful, beautiful place. If you've ever been, it's absolutely gorgeous. And some of that is from the raw natural beauty. Like if you've ever been to El Yunque, this spectacular rainforest that's there, we have a rainforest as part of the United States.
It's amazing.
I mean, think about that.
That resource, the
right?
oxygen we breathe that
Right?
comes from rainforest.
It is spectacular. It's so gorgeous. And so part of the pava hat is the jibero. The jiberos were what the farmers were known as. It's people feeling like they are jiberos now, even though they may not be farmers. It's this concept of tending to the land and the beauty and the natural resources of the island. So it was very symbolic that he wore that, because he was kind of identifying that I want to be a good steward. I want to tend and take care of the island that grew me, that bore me, that provides all this beauty to so many people. So it was very emotional for those who are from Puerto Rico or who like the area. Like I know Jim loves to surf there all the time. To see that displayed in such a beautiful way was like an honor and a tribute. And so it made people very emotional when they saw him wearing that. So I think that's very special too.
Jim's friend, one of his very close friends, moved to Puerto Rico years ago. He comes back and visits once in a
Jeremiah?
while. Yeah, Jeremiah.
Oh my God, who's not a bullfrog?
Jim taught him how to do tile and all these things. Well, a couple years back, Jeremiah won the Humanitarian of the Year award on behalf of the United States for his work with Puerto Rico in the storms. He installed solar panels and was able to help them learn how to do sustainable water. He went up in the mountains to where they didn't have electricity and helped them get electricity and rebuilt part of the houses.
So getting back to the music, and I think that there, like what Mel said, a lot of people have reservations that this performance will be Spanish speaking. But I want to get to the unity of what music brings to humanity.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever, if Sonny's, if you're out there, if you've ever heard of a song in a different language, but you've connected to it in some way because the rhythm, the pulse, it just made you want to move. I mean, I'm just thinking, I grew up with Gloria Estefan
Oh my
and the Miami
God, the
Sound
Miami
Machine.
Sound Machine.
So let's get into that conversation a little bit, and how can people drop their guard a little bit and lean into the music?
I think music, you don't have to understand the words, but you can feel the emotions. And whether it's an emotion that makes you want to dance or want to smile, or it incites something in you. One of my favorite songs is a song called Jerusalema, which I forever had no idea what language it was in. And I learned that it's called Zulu Swahili. That's the language it's in. I have no idea what I'm saying when I'm singing that song, and I'm probably completely butchering it.
you love it.
But I love this song. It's actually a worldwide hit. Like, if you look it up, it's phenomenal. But I don't know the language. There's something about music. If we just stop
It
and
unites
yeah,
people.
if we just stop and appreciate the music for what it is, the musicality, the instrumentation, the rhythm, the tones, how it makes you feel, that in and of itself goes beyond words, goes beyond lyrics. That I think is the beauty of music. And we talked about this. Music really is a great unifier because you don't have to know a lyric to know that that song makes you want to move. You don't have to know a lyric to know that that song makes you want to smile or gets you excited, or if it's a love
educate
song.
you.
Yeah, and that is actually the beauty of some of the music that he just most recently put on his last album, that he actually worked with a professor from the University of Washington, Madison, and he's a professor on Afro-Caribbean studies and specifically is an expert in Puerto Rico, and he worked with him to make sure that in his album he included visuals, like if you go to YouTube and watch the visuals of the videos, that accurately depict the history of the island. And he was very mindful about that. He wanted to carry great respect for his ancestors and for the legacy. So if you pay attention to the lyrics, you actually can learn quite a bit about the history of the island, the history of the people. Perhaps it's just a personal history, but you can hear it in those lyrics. And we actually, let's be honest, we have technology nowadays too. If you really want to dive in, I noticed that like on the update this week on my iPhone, that if I'm listening to a song in another language, it'll ask you, do you want us to translate these lyrics? And so it'll have the lyrics on the screen, and right underneath it, it has the lyrics translated to English. So like you can, if you want to know it, you can, but if not, you can just appreciate the music for what it is.
I have friends from other countries, and you know how they learned English? Music and soap operas.
Yeah, true.
So you think about that.
But think about and the culture and the beauty. Like you talked about all of these incredible things about Puerto Rico, and we're going to be able to witness this on the world's largest stage and be able to celebrate this beautiful community that has been hit by major tragic storms.
Yep.
We're going to really uplift this community, and I think that as Americans, that's going to be an amazing moment for us to be able to celebrate Puerto Rico and celebrate this incredible artist that's going to bring a different facet, a different element into our lives. And I get why people have fear, but I'm encouraging people to have curiosity and compassion and talk about how important that is.
I think it's extremely important in this time is to not be so hung up on what makes us different, but to really embrace the things that make us human and make us all one large human community. We all have emotions. We all have family we love. Hopefully, we all have love in some way. We all have things that bring us joy. We all experience highs and lows in our lives. We all experience pain, sorrow, but also happiness and gladness. And I think those are the unifiers. Like we seem to be really focused recently on, you look different than me, you sound different than me, maybe you speak a different language or a different dialect. It doesn't matter. All that stuff in the end does not matter. Really, because we are really one human community who are all experiencing things in our own lives. And I think for one moment, if we can just push all that aside and appreciate someone who is bringing joy. His entire message is to bring joy and to let people feel pride in wherever they're from. So, like I think about it too, sometimes people get upset when they see the Puerto Rican flag. My friend who brought me all this wonderful stuff, thank you. I won't say her name because I'm going to say something right now. Some of her neighbors were offended because she had a Puerto Rican flag on her porch. I'm from California. I often sport socks or hats or whatever that
Right.
have my California flag on it. I'm very proud to be from California. Doesn't make me any less proud to be from where I am today, right? It's just, it's part of who I am. And I think we are a very multicultural, multi-layered society, and that should be something that is powerful and beautiful and embraced, and not something that serves to divide us.
You said that so eloquently. Ashim, this is such a great conversation.
Yes.
And we have 4 months, as Beth
I
always
know,
says.
4 months.
We have 4 months
Go
to
on.
dive into this beautiful culture. We are definitely going to keep diving into this conversation. I know Hispanic Heritage Month is over.
It ends on the 15th.
Not for
so.
Sunny TV. It's going to be 360 all the time. I love this conversation, and I love celebrating new and exciting things. And I think this is going to be one for the books. So thank you so much for
You're
sharing
welcome.
your passion.
Of course.
Yes,
and more to this conversation.
Absolutely.
So exciting. But we're going to head over to one that does celebrate all the different culture of our town, which is Old Town Trolley.
Sit back and relax and take it easy, baby, and let it go as Old Town Trolley's licensed and talented tour conductors share over 500 years of St. Augustine history. Guests will enjoy the city's European flavor, brick-lined streets, and sites such as the Castillo de San Marcos, the Fountain of Youth, and Henry Flagler's former Ponce de Leon Hotel. This 90-minute tour features 22 stops and covers more than 100 points of interest. Guests can use their ticket all day for on and off reboarding. You got to check out hometownpass.com.
All right, I can't let you down with Hey Girl, Hey Horoscopes. We're going to go a little bit over today, guys. I think that'll be all right because we do not have a show on Monday. We're going to take a little day off for Indigenous People Day. Super excited to drive that one home. All right, happy Hey Girl, Hey Horoscopes. We got Aquarius because Barbara Jean is in comments, and we have Pisces on deck today. Aquarius, you are the avant-garde darling of the zodiac, the one who wears tomorrow's fashion today, and this week you channel pure innovation. Oh, my favorite. The Style Oracle says, Alexander McQueen, metallic futurism. Shock 'em, inspire 'em, rewrite the dress code is your cosmic command. Your power accessory is a holographic trench coat. Ooh, hopefully by Burberry. Your quote is, do what you can with what you have,
I need that
where
trench coat
exactly
today.
you are. That's by Theodore Roosevelt.
We need that holographic trench coat today,
I
guys.
know.
Yeah. All right, Pisces, you are dripping in ethereal glamour this week. Imagine Dior Couture meets mermaid fantasy. Your dreams are the runway. Your Style Oracle says Dior's celestial gowns with star embroidery. You float higher, you swim deeper, and you dream louder. That's your cosmic command. Your power accessory, a crystal encrusted tiara. Ooh, I love it. I wonder if it's Swarovski. Your quote is by Maya Angelou, there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside of you. Get it out. Sing out, Louise. I love that.
Rewriting. The
Sing it out,
rewriting.
and we've got some great expectations for this playlist coming up.
People are looking for a company. I want people to have great expectations. We are a small family-owned brokerage. What that means is you get really personalized service and everything is very hands-on. You're not just getting tossed onto the MLS and crossing our fingers. We're very aggressive with our marketing. We're excellent with communication. We have a lot of amazing relationships in the community, so you're getting the advantages of all of those things.
What we run over.
Hey!
DJ Snack Pack on
Yes!
this
We didn't forget the
Destiny
playlist.
Friday. And thanks to Sheem, today we are serving it up Latin style, baby.
Yes!
Here we go. Mr.
Fiesta
Rich-
Friday!
Yes, Mr. Richie Valens. Ba-la-la-la-la-bamba.
Ba-la-la-la-la-bamba,
Besito, no poca de gracias.
Hey!
There you go.
See, I don't even know the words, but I'm going with it.
And let's do
Come on, baby, do that conga.
No, you can control yourself
Any longer beat. Bum,
Yeah,
bum.
Gloria Stefan, guys.
Ah.
You're welcome. Go listen to Miami Sound Machine all day long.
Yes.
Yeah, super excited. And you got Jennifer Lopez. I love that song.
Let's get loud.
Let's get loud. Turn the music up to hear that sound. Let's get loud. I mean, literally, for her mid-50s, that lady can crack a walnut.
Look,
in
I
her ass.
don't-
I love it.
Heck
She
yeah.
looks so
I don't
good.
care for her as a person, but I love her music.
I think she's misunderstood. We can debate
yeah,
that. Yeah.
I'm for her still. I'm still for her.
I support her.
woman in her 50s still doing her thing, I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, I support her. She's just a mean girl.
I don't know. Do we know that? Are we sure? I don't know.
Every interview she's ever
very
done, guys.
Very controversial. Just like this Sunshine Shenanigans story. This one's dedicated to Mabu Adawe. Here we go. The Pasta Riot of Jacksonville. So this one takes place here. Last Friday, Jacksonville has seen its share of Friday night chaos, but nothing quite like the storm that erupted inside Carrabba's Italian Grill when a gratuity dispute boiled over into full-scale food war. It started with a simple young waitress, 25 years young, grinding through a busy shift, juggling a table of 5. Their bill, $189 of pasta, chicken, and 2 bottles of Chianti. Their tip, nothing.
Better have my money. Ba, ba, ba.
Something inside her cracked. Witnesses say that she set her tray down, stared at the table with the fury of being being underpaid, underappreciated, and the server, before she even shouted, "You just drank 2 bottles of Chianti and stiffed me like I'm invisible." The group laughed at her, and then she grabbed a steaming plate of spaghetti and sent it.
Judites moment.
A steaming plate of spaghetti and sent it flying, red sauce arcing through the air like a comet of vengeance. And before it exploded against the booth, the diners fired back with a corset ammo of bread rolls, olives, 1 meatball stuck into a stranger's plate across the room, which triggered another stranger to start throwing things. Within seconds, the entire dining room transformed into a gladiator pit of carbohydrates.
Mal's just mad about losing all the food right
you
here.
just ruined food.
By the time police arrived, Carrabba's looked like a culinary war zone. Pasta draped across chandeliers, red sauce pooled like puddles of blood in trenches, olive oil stick to the tile, and skating rink of danger. The waitress stood in the center of it all, her hair streaked with marinara, breathing heavy like a victorious warrior that came back stacked from Rome. She was arrested for the assault and disorderly conduct, led out past stunned patrons who cheered as though she was some kind of working class fork hero. Carrabba's management slapped a sign on the door that read, "We are closed due to the pasta incident." But before everyone who was there, it wasn't just pasta, it was a rebellion. It was a server's silent scream finally hurtled into a fistful of spaghetti. And Jacksonville will never forget the night when Carrabba became the Coliseum of pasta
That's
possibilities.
like
Oh my
James
gosh.
Kennedy's line on Vanderpump Rules, one of his famous lines. It's not about the pasta.
Wow.
Guys, I have to admit, the craziest stuff happens at Carrabba's. Like, that doesn't surprise me at all. I worked there
It's Italian, it's
for
passionate.
4 years.
All the cars they make it.
One day,
wild.
I have to say, one of my friends was fired for an incident where he actually threw a plate of pasta at another server, and that server ducked, and then the plate hit the wall.
So, sounds like there's some stress happening at Carrabba's. A great reminder that today is World Mental Health Day.
Thank you, Asheen.
Why do we waste
Go
food?
take a pause.
Wait, but why do we
Wow.
waste food when we're upset?
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
why do we?
Right, that's a good
Don't
point.
waste food, man.
All right, Sonnies, we turned up the glow, we sparkled the joy, and we reminded everyone that your light is the kind that can light up the whole sky with inspiration, with compassion, with curiosity, and of course with Latin flair.
Yay.
Big thanks to Bethany and Tony for coming to studio
Yeah.
today and letting us know all the things about Potential Foundation.
And don't you go drifting off. The Sunshine Storm rolls back in at 3 p.m. with more shenanigans and Addie's famous or infamous Reddit rundown.
I love it.
You know it's going to be
Listen,
wild.
We're cheering for our homegirl. She is, again, her 4-peat is in a row. Can she break the record and be a
know.
clean sweep this week on
Come
Pop
on,
Culture
Addie, you
Thunderdome?
could do it.
We will see you guys at 3. We love you so much. Thank you, Sonnies.
Bye.
Bye, guys.